The Secrets of Blood and the Telegony Effect. Children receive part of the DNA of their mother's former lovers. According to claims, the term telegony was reintroduced by August Weismann in the 19th century, combining the Greek word tele, meaning far, and geneo, meaning generate. This history of the idea of telegony goes back to Aristotle and suggests that the characteristics of an individual are inherited not only from his parents, but also from other males with whom the mother had previous pregnancies or intercourse. In the case of plants, crosses. At the time of the 19th and 20th centuries, belief in telegony was widespread among breeders working with various types of domestic animals. The most famous was the case of Lord Morton's mare, described by Charles Darwin from Morton's words and stated by F. Ledontek. She had 7/8 Arabian, 1/8 English blood, and was covered in 1815 with a quagga, a less stripped variety of zebra, without the birth of offspring. In 1817, 1818, and 1823, this mare was mated to a stallion of her breed. The foals, born after this, were similar in the hardness of their coat, the bay color in the presence of dark spots and stripes along the ridges, along the shoulders and back of the legs, to a quagga to the same extent as if they had 1/16 of quagga blood. Telegon, ancient Greek telegonos, born far away, is a character in Greek mythology, the son of Ulysses and Kirke, and the main character of the cyclic poem Telegony. He killed his own father because he did not recognize him in battle, and then married his widow Penelope. Penelope gave birth to Telegon's son Italus, the eponym of Italy. Plinius claims that Latinus, the eponym of the Latin people, was the son of Telegonus. According to the main version, Latinus was the son of Ulysses. The Bible, Genesis chapter 38, talks about telegony. Bible, Genesis 38, says of telegony, Judah had 3 sons, Er, Onan, and Shelah. Judah married his eldest son to Tamar, but soon Er died, leaving no descendants. And what did Judah say to his middle son Onan? Go into your brother's wife, marry her as a brother-in-law, and restore your brother's seed. Genesis 38:8. These are the laws of telegony, that is, Er was the first man in Tamar, and left in her the images of his spirit and blood. Now only the seed is needed for her to give birth to a child by her deceased husband. But notice, Onan knew that the seed would not be his, and therefore when he went into his brother's wife, he poured his seed on the ground, that he might not give the seed to his brother. Genesis 38:9. That is, in those distant times, telegony was known to many people, and Onan knew that the child would not be his, but the deceased elder brother's. Mesoamerican shamans took sex very seriously. They saw the energy, and they saw that after sexual intercourse, a certain energetic inclusion appears in the woman's energy body, belonging to the man with whom she was with. It looks like a worm or some kind of a hook. The shamans believe that the man then pulls the woman by this hook. It does not matter whether they continue to live together or separately. It does not matter whether a woman conceives or not. The hook is now in her, and in the future the woman will have as many hooks in her body as she has had partners, and each hook is energetically connected with its owner. The lifespan of such a parasite is 7 years. It gradually weakens, but after each new contact, it's renewed and comes to life, and this can go on for quite a long time. In the Braveheart movie, King Edward Longshanks of England was constantly at war with Scotland, and as he said, "The trouble with Scotland is the excess of Scots. We cannot defeat them, then we must degenerate them. Perhaps it's time to restore our old custom and give them the prima noctis, the right of the first night. That is, if a girl on their land gets married, the governors get the right to share a bed with her and on her wedding night. Hence, if we cannot survive them, then we will degenerate them. This is what it was said, in the Middle Ages. Hence, people knew about it long before the discovery of telegony recently. In the height of the Second World War, a German doctor who examined girls aged 16 to 20 who were kidnapped from USSR to Germany decided to contact Hitler with an appeal to immediately begin peace negotiations with USSR. He was surprised that 90% of the girls were virgins, and he wrote to Hitler that it was impossible to defeat a nation with such high morality. A copy of this memo was sent to Erich Koch, Hitler's protege in Ukraine. Erich Koch proposed solving the issue of purity of Russian girls as follows: teach women to drink and this problem will be over. Science and mixed-race children. Scientifically speaking, during the process of conception, the maternal egg and the sperm merge, resulting in the formation of a zygote with a new combination of genes, but it's not the only way to exchange genetic information between people. Sperm release extracellular fragments of their DNA, which can remain in the woman's body after sexual intercourse. These DNA fragments can be absorbed by the cells of the mucous membrane of the vagina and uterus and then integrated into their genome. As a result, genetic information is exchanged between partners. Sperm cell can also penetrate, fuse with, or absorb non-reproductive cells. As a result, chimeric cells are formed that contain DNA from both partners. Such cells can then release their own new nucleic acid strand, which can affect other cells in the body. During pregnancy, the fetus receives nutrients and oxygen from the mother's blood. However, he can also receive DNA fragments from the mother that are contained in the blood. These DNA fragments can be inserted into the fetal genome, which can lead to changes in its development. The phenomenon that the U.S. scientists from Northwestern University observed was flashes of light that accompanied the fusion of an egg and the sperm, just like sparks of life. The fertilized egg emits a halo glow. Thus, the exchange of genetic information between people can occur not only during the process of conception, but also in other situations. This exchange can have both positive and negative consequences. And that is why it's assumed that the genes of another man can remain in a woman's body. The main criticism of telegony is the lack of scientific evidence for its existence. All arguments in its favor are based on indirect data that can be explained by other reasons. In addition, telegony contradicts modern ideas about genetics. According to these ideas, hereditary traits are transmitted only through genes that are located in the cell nucleus. Sperm and egg contains only half of the body's genetic material, and the other half is passed down from the parents. Thus, there is no reason to believe nor to deny that a woman's first sexual partners can influence the hereditary traits of her future children. In the old days, it was customary to marry only virgins for a number of social, cultural, and religious reasons. The importance of girls' virginity was associated with a number of social and family values and supported traditions and generically accepted moral standards. One of the main reasons was related to religion. In many religions, especially ancient and traditional ones, virginity was seen as an important element of healthy and prosperous family relationships. Virginity was considered a symbol of purity and spirituality, and marriage in violation of this purity could be considered a violation of religious precepts. And moreover, marriage in the old days was not only a personal choice, but also a social contract between two families. The parents of a young man, when choosing a bride for their son, sought to find a girl with reliable, healthy reproductive health in order to provide guarantees about the future offspring of the family. Virginity was considered as one of the indicators of the girl's health and purity, which gave her high status and attractiveness to the groom and his family. As also an important factor were the social conventions of the time. In the old days, a girl's virginity was considered a thing that could decorate her family and increase her status in society. Violating the stereotype could lead to judgment and negative attitudes from others. Therefore, for many women, virginity had to be preserved until marriage in order to avoid social discredit and maintain high status. And this is from Solask, Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.